Good evening, everyone. This is the Debra Show, and welcome to the second segment, A Different Approach to Love. I told you on the first segment that the next time we will probably be somewhere different. We're coming to you live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, over here in this beautiful nature park, the Pat Murphy Park. I have with me today a very special guest. Her name is Rasun Leol Divine. We call her Honeysuckle. She is from, I ain't gonna mess it up, girl. Tell the audience, you know, where you're from.
I am originally from Moyes Point, Mississippi, and I reside in Pascagoula, Mississippi at this time.
Okay.
I'm here visiting my beautiful, beautiful mother.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you
yes.
for that. So y'all know the deal. I have 9 questions. I'm going to read these 9 questions off to her, and she is going to select one of them, and then that's what we're going to talk about. And she's going to tell us all about it once she selects it, and what her different approach, what makes her approach different, and you know, because we different. And we love being different. So here we go. I'm going to read these questions and let her select, you know, the question. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about a different approach to love. What would be the initial approach to begin interaction with a potential love interest? Number 1, friendship. Number 2, surveying each other to see if the chemistry is there. Number 3, do we try to avoid intimacy altogether until a decision is made to become a couple? Number 4, what are some different approaches that could be applied even in existing relationships? How about love by the numbers and other metaphysical approaches like astrology and compatibility charts? Number 6, how do we determine when it's time to go and make it an official love relationship? What level of maturity, number 7, what level of maturity are we looking for in our potential love partner? Number 8, do we change up the normal expected questions like, so tell me about yourself, to something that immediately addresses a priority of ours that our potential love partner must have as part of their personality, characteristics, or some other expectations of ours? And lastly, number 9, should we make agreements to try to impress each other, to try not to impress each other, and be our natural selves? So which one of those you want to look at it and see which one?
Yes. I will try number 3. Number 3.
Speak up, please.
Do we try to avoid intimacy altogether until a decision is made to become a couple? So number 3.
Number 3. All right, honeysuckle. Come on with it, girl. Tell us all about it. Let's keep it going. Tell us all about it.
All right. Do we avoid intimacy? I myself personally would. I prefer to get to know the individual before I get into an intimate state with them to be, to get into any type of attachments. Before attaching to an individual. It's more than just sex. People are looking for something different. I am looking for something different.
That's why you're here.
Yes. So me, myself personally, I'm looking for more of a higher connection. Let's start here and we can work our way, to wherever it leads to.
Okay.
Because it might not lead to that. We can possibly get into something and begin to be intimate and both realize that, No.
Let's back up.
And can possibly stay in a relationship way longer than we have to, rather than just allowing it to flow naturally and not being so caught up on how a person look and how sex feels, and
Now this
embrace
is your
more.
approach.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is how I look at it.
Okay.
It's how I see myself looking at a new person that could come. I'm single right now.
Yes.
So the next individual that comes into my life, I would desire for them to be in that same frequency with me, that we are desiring to know each other on a deeper level before we get intimate, before we cross that line. Because then once we really get to know each other, it becomes sacred, It becomes
Okay.
sacred.
Okay.
The touch, the feel, everything, So that's my perspective.
That's how you approaching it.
Yes.
That's what's making it different. Is, even though the chemistry might just be, like firecracker,
Yes.
hot,
Yes. Sizzling.
sizzling, sizzling, and he be
Goodness.
smelling good and looking good, and
Yes.
he's saying all of the right things.
Okay, let me get back right.
Say for instance, that's your approach. Yet he doesn't know that that's your approach, is to, stave off any intimacy, into me, the into me see, I'm into you, you into, that's intimacy. Listen to the word, into me, intimacy. He may not know that. And so what you going to do if look at you, you're beautiful. How you going to keep him from
That's why it's important to communicate.
communicate?
Yes, communication is key. Because if we don't communicate, then we won't never know what a person don't, desire in their life. And it's like, I want to know everything possible. So when I do connect with an individual, I let them know off top, this is what I look for in a relationship. I'm not set on just the sexual aspects of it. These are things I had to overcome.
Okay, because it wasn't always like that.
Oh no,
You used to jump that bone,
baby. Chocolate brother.
Ooh, seasoned. All right. So,
Yes.
At what point did you realize that just because the chemistry is there, that, going ahead and giving in to the chemistry was not the right thing in establishing a non-toxic, relationship? What would that look like?
Eventually,
Uh-huh.
I learned a lesson here.
Yeah.
Because I kept repeating it and repeating. That cycle you go through. You study taking yourself through the same things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you still left feeling empty, rejected, all based on the fact that this person don't want the same thing as you want.
Are you feeling a little hoarse?
Whorish?
Yeah.
No,
Like you just sold
well,
yourself short?
Well, I wasn't feeling whorish, but more or less like I really thought I was going to connect with this individual and they could value me as I'm coming into the same, I'm coming into this, like, I want to create this sacred place with us.
Okay.
But and then when you find out that, hey, this person may not be ready for that, so that is why it's so important to communicate. Whether it hurt a person's feelings or not, it's the truth.
Yeah. So we talking about it started with you realizing that going straight into an intimate moment is not the thing to do. And at that, what was you going through when you finally realized that, hey, I got to slow my roll, just because the chemistry and everything is there, I need to pull back. And you know what I'm saying? And I need to self-examine, me first before, I mean, you know, because it always starts with the self. So, you know, what kind of conversation did you have with yourself?
Whew. Self.
Yeah, which self said,
Self said, do you love yourself?
yeah.
Or you tired of seeking love outside of yourself?
Uh-oh. Yeah,
To sit down with self and begin to commune with myself.
right.
To understand that I'm the only individual I really truly need for intimacy. First, it starts with me.
Okay.
And, you know, that emptiness you feel when you feel rejected and hurt and all of those emotions.
Because you thought your approach was the right approach, you
Yes,
know, give
yes,
them what it wants, give them a little
yes,
taste of it, and
yes.
you get a little taste of that.
Yes, and I went in it thinking it was gonna feel like this, it's gonna be like this,
Yeah,
but it turned out it wasn't at all like that. And it was, and that's not to say that person wasn't, you know, didn't have it like that
right.
in the bedroom. It's just to say that that wasn't what I was truly seeking,
Okay.
and that
What a time
fulfillment.
to find that out.
Yes, because before it was all about the sex
Yeah.
and how it made me feel, and you know, I was very, very sexual. So until I got to a place of just understanding that, and overstanding that sex is not something to make you feel like you're loved.
There we go. There we
You
go.
know,
There we go.
that feeling you get,
Yeah.
that high,
Yeah.
you know, because you still left feeling empty when you finish doing it. You know, so instead of me doing that, you know, just that light bulb come on because I felt empty afterwards, you know. And I had to come to my senses of realizing this has been the whole reason why you've been going through this, so you can learn this particular lesson for yourself.
Yeah.
To stop seeking out, you know, some type of fulfillment from out of, you know, sexual encounters
Okay.
with
Okay.
individuals.
Okay. Okay. So now, um, so you're saying that we should.
And can I say one more
Oh
thing?
no,
Listen,
definitely.
and this not to say that I was jumping from person to person, because I did this with my first husband. It
Who
was
you were in a relationship and married to for how long?
for 20 years.
Okay. Okay.
And the only thing we shared in common was that attraction.
Wow.
I'm talking about sexual, boy. We get together and it just boom, you
Yeah.
know, like fireworks. It's perfect. But on every other level, we could not connect.
Right.
And I kept seeking outside of that. So that's where cheating and all of that comes in, because you're seeking that fulfillment of being in a union with someone.
In a union. Y'all got
Yes.
that.
Yes.
In a union.
A union, not a marriage or you know what we go by in this society, but a union.
Yeah.
We commune with one another spiritually first, and we get to know each other on that level, and that is what makes it, you know.
That's
So
what brings about the union.
Yes.
Which what does that like? If you can achieve that while you're initially setting out to refrain and hold back and you know from all of that, even though the sparks are there, are you saying from that approach does an intensity, you know, in the waiting for that first into us moment? Is that what that all will boil down? I mean, you know, what is your objective? What is your goal? I mean, why are you choosing to hold back and not go into, you know, intimacy? You know, could you have a goal? Because now you're
Yes.
holding back, you know, so what's the goal?
The goal is to reach union. That level of consciousness together, we are one. That's what that means. Two people, and then that string that connects us, which is the divine. That divine string, the source creator. You know, everybody have different terms of what they say, God and all of that. That's what becomes the union, those individuals. So when you're able to come in, you're going to know that person. You're going to know. You're going to know. So that is the level I would like to achieve right there.
So is that what would you encourage someone else to take that same approach, you know, to reach union by abstaining from, you know, intimacy right away?
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't
It works
go
for
so far.
you.
Yes, it works for me, but I wouldn't go so much to say for another individual, because our walks are different.
Yeah.
Some people, that's how they express themselves.
Yeah.
So, but for as me, I will approach it in that way. I'm not saying sex is bad, because it's good,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but at some point, it comes a time when you just stop giving yourself away. This becomes sacred to you.
Yes.
And so you start to understand that this is sacredness. This ain't for everybody to be coming in between these legs, you know.
I, everyone, honeysuckle. Can I do your song?
Yes, you can do the song.
Okay. Now she has all these beautiful nicknames
Oh my
and
God.
personalities, you know, associated with her travels, her journeys into who she is.
Mm.
So I got a little song that I sing for her since she's honeysuckle. Honeysuckle spiritually,
Mm.
with all jokes beside, it brings luck. My mother used to have honeysuckle bushes everywhere around our home. So, on a metaphysical level, you know, it represents luck. Honeysuckle represents luck, sweetness. So, you know, I got this little song.
Mm.
If you ever get a chance to get between these stars, my name is
Mm.
Honeysuckle.
Yes.
You'll be lucky for life. Right.
That's right.
And now we talking about don't you reach up and try to pluck one of my little honeysuckles off my bush. Not till I tell you, you know, so, you know,
Until I began to see myself as sacred,
yeah.
that I am set apart,
Okay.
that I have a counterpart
Yeah.
just for me,
Okay.
is when I began to start to walk that way.
Okay.
Start practicing celibacy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, that was kind of hard for me.
Discipline.
Yes, discipline strong, because
Mm-hmm.
hey, you know, you tend to get to that place where you're yearning for that type of intimacy and wanting that type of connection, and then you even mess up a hundred times before you even get to that place
Yeah.
of becoming that.
Yeah.
You know, having
Yeah.
that strength to hold,
To
withhold.
hold.
Yes.
To hold.
And to
Withhold.
understand that this is sacred.
Yeah. I'm sacred.
I am sacred.
Yeah.
This journey I'm on is
Yeah.
sacred.
Yeah.
You know.
So that spiritual counterpart, that potential counterpart, are all the different titles that we give to our so-called significant others. Have you ever taken that approach with someone and they not really, you know, get it, and then you've
Yes.
had to, like, you know,
Yes.
set them aside, and you know
Yes.
what is that like when you're trying to lead the way, you know, when you're not coming on to that brother, that man like that, and you know, yet he's making all the advances. I mean, how do you stop him and still allow him to have a sense of self-respect so that he doesn't have to experience, you know, rejection? Are you like, and you know, because when people tend to sense rejection, that brings out another whole character. You know, so how do you manage so that when they're coming on to you, but you're trying to set the example of sacredness and waiting and let's just, you know, exchange, so that, you know, like I said, you can, you know, not all the way make him feel, you know, rejected and like it's a, you know, it's a bad thing, that he can still want to say, okay, I get it, I want to slow down, and I too want to, you know, let's do it your way.
Yeah. Well, I definitely asked them first how would they feel about a situation like that.
Okay.
And I'd never try to tear them down in the sense of saying that I'm too good for you or anything of that nature.
Right.
I'm just, I will open up and let them know that this is what type of path I'm on.
Okay.
And if you're willing to walk it and build with me and get to know me, then it's all love.
It's like that in the I read that steady love.
Yes, it's all love.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to, it's still all love.
Yes.
It's no issue.
Yeah.
We can remain sister and brother. We don't even have to take it there. And even if we've had a sexual encounter,
Yeah.
and it comes to a point where I decide I don't want to
That
be in
again.
that, yes, or if he don't want this
It
particular
could be
thing,
him.
yes,
Yeah.
and I'm still in that mind frame of it's still all love, because we both learned something, we both gained something, so it's respect. Because that's number one in any relationship, companionship, whatever, respect. Respecting that individual.
Right.
And so that's all I ask for is respect. And if they're coming on and want to touch it, feel it, then I straighten them.
Yeah.
Because this is my body. This is my temple.
Yeah.
So if I don't want you touching and rubbing on me and stuff, and I don't want to go there with you, then yes, I would say that. Now kiss, and I like to kiss. Now that is beautiful.
Y'all heard that. Not only is she beautiful and single, but she ain't trying to rush into no intimate.
Yes.
Do you just like to kiss or you love to kiss? There's a difference in intensity.
Not in such a way that it would lead to anything, but
Do you
a
give them
kiss.
at least a kiss?
Yes.
While you're holding back from the intimacy?
Yes, I can do that.
You can at least
Yes.
give them that.
I feel I've gained that much strength to withhold myself and still able to kiss a person and just that represent nothing but love.
Yeah.
On that level.
It's not an obligation.
Right.
Just because I've kissed you,
yes.
I have not obligated myself
yes.
To anything beyond that kiss. It's a gift that we are gifting each other. And it's got nothing to do with sexuality. It's got to do with sensuality.
Yes.
Sensuality over sex.
Yes.
When we're dealing with intimacy, as far as your approach.
Yes.
And the objective, the end goal is union.
Yes.
Union.
Yes.
See,
yes.
And that sounds like that would be something lasting. No matter where the two of you are, I can call on you. You can call on me.
Yes.
You got a friend.
Yes.
You got a friend before you got a lover.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's who you got. You got a sister. You got a brother. Before you get all wrapped up into, all them emotions of attachment and ownership. Because do you think that intimacy right away suggests ownership?
Yeah,
Is
because
that why you're
I've
trying
been in
to do it
situations. Yes, I've been in situations where intimacy came first, and then people begin to think that they own you or you mine.
Like I bought you a drink at the club or something. Now I done rented you for the night for a drink. Yeah.
No, I am my own person.
Yeah.
I am me, and I am independently me, and I'm not into control mechanisms. I was a controlling person before.
Okay.
So yeah, when you jumping into the bed with people, you got to know who you jumping in the bed with.
Right.
So
or on the sofa.
In the car, wherever.
In the car, all these places where we call that spontaneity.
Yes.
Yeah. The sacredness of spontaneity anywhere and everywhere. But like you said, they've got to think about union, intimacy and union. And once again, into me. See, that approach. Into me. See, before I explore, into you.
Right.
See, and bringing it together with the into us. See.
Yes.
So that's your approach.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I love it. I think that absolutely is a very different approach to love, changing up the conversation with love, bringing in the sacredness, of holding back so that so that when you finally do allow it, it's not a sexual see. It's a sensual see. I sense you. You sense me. You know, we've already, went down that road. So,
it says a lot about me, going through that said a lot about myself.
Yeah.
You from here, you're seeking, you're searching for that yearning you have within yourself. But it's really not, you're not seeking nobody out there. You're seeking yourself. That love where you're at peace, whether you by yourself or you with an individual.
And you think this is what will stave off toxicity
Yes.
in a relationship?
Yes, because you don't become codependent on that individual or any other individual. Like, I need to have a relationship. I need to have sex. No. I don't need none of those things. It's learning how to utilize all those energies within myself and build my character and grow, level up, level up.
Definitely.
And it's not like I got here overnight, because this has been going on, all my life.
Do you mind?
I am 41.
All right. Don't look it.
Thank you. So yeah, it's been a journey, and I had to learn how to value myself and know my own worth. And I noticed doing things like that left me feeling empty. It wasn't satisfying.
Okay.
So I knew that wasn't what I was seeking, the sexual experience itself.
Right. So as we get ready to wrap this up, a different approach to love with the beautiful Rasun Leol Divine. Yes, sister. I love you. You know I do.
I love you too.
You know I do. So we're going to wrap it up. And guess what? The next time you see us, that next segment, we may be somewhere else that's different to discuss a different approach to love. And I don't know who we'll have, but one thing is for sure. Be different and love it. Can you say that?
Be different and love it.
All right. Thank you. It's been great, and see you next time.
All right.
All right.
With these lovely ladies, this is Hardaway production. It's a great set. What y'all think?
I loved it. I loved it.
Yes.
Hey, yeah. I like that setup that you bring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Straight professional.
Straight. And if you ever need professional photography, videography, Hardaway production. Thank you.